Well, back here again nearly 15 years later. I was in my mid-20s when I came here for the very first time. Now, I'm in my late 30s, definitely more carefree and stupider than ever before, but way more appreciative about any opportunity to wander and explore. But I have returned to Key West to accomplish one goal. And what is that, you might ask? To get my advanced scuba certification, of course. And why not, when Key West has some of the best coral reefs in the world? But this episode isn't just about coral reefs. I'm here, and we might as well explore the heck out of this tropical paradise. In this video, we're going to meet six-toed cats. Yes, they're much more efficient at catching mice than the average commoner kitty cat, so I've heard. We're also going to walk and ride a bicycle around downtown and visit beaches. We will see a former president's little White House, eat tons of fresh seafood right off the fishing boats. I'm going to also show you the best key lime pie I have ever had. And I'm also going to show you the best hidden beach in Key West. No, I'm not going to give you the entire table of contents right here, right now, but just keep watching. Oh, and we're going to scuba dive. As usual, along the way, I'm going to share as many tips as I possibly can with you so that you could have an epic trip of your own to Key West. It's crazy booking and spending an entire trip that revolves around one objective, the Advanced Open Water Diver Certification. Despite having completed around 50 dives, this itch to get my advanced certification started a year ago when I wasn't allowed to dive a certain cenote in Tulum with my regular open water certification. This particular dive site in Tulum was for advanced divers only. I was turned down and I was pissed. I had made up my mind then that I'm going to get certified with the proper credentials and return back to Tulum. No, I have not returned to Tulum yet for my revenge trip, but I soon will. Anyway, rant over. One experience leads up to another, and a year later, after being rejected in Tulum, I'm here in Key West, Florida. And now it's time to continue with the scheduled programming. We are in Key West, Florida, the southernmost point in the continental United States, nestled in the turquoise waters of the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. This idyllic island is known for its warm climate, stunning sunsets, and vibrant culture. As you arrive in Key West, you'll notice the laid-back atmosphere and the charming architecture that makes this island unique. The colorful pastel homes and lush tropical foliage create a picturesque backdrop for your vacation. The island's diverse history and culture are celebrated in the numerous museums, galleries, and landscapes scattered throughout the area, and of course, let's not forget the festivals. There's no shortage of fascinating attractions to explore, but more on that later. Some things to consider before you go. Firstly, when to go. Key West has a warm and tropical climate all year round. But the best time to visit, so they say, is during the winter months, December to March, when the weather is cooler and drier. The summer months, which are June to September-ish, are hot and humid, with frequent rain showers and occasional hurricanes. Key West is accessible by air, car, and ferry. By ferry, I do not mean Tinkerbell. The closest airport is the Key West International Airport, which has direct flights from many major U.S. cities. If you're driving, you can reach Key West by taking the Overseas Highway US Route 1 from the mainland. Another option is to take the ferry from Fort Myers or Marco Island, which I've heard offers scenic views of the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, and keep in mind that from the airport to the downtown, it takes about 8 to 15 minutes just depending on traffic. Usually when a place has a lot of character, it comes with its share of history. And in this case, the island's history dates back to the early 1800s, when it served as a strategic military outpost and trading hub for ships sailing to and from the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. The island's strategic location made it a hotbed for pirates, smugglers, and wreckers, who salvaged ships that had run aground on the treacherous reefs surrounding the islands. Throughout its history, Key West has been home to a diverse population of people from all over the world, including Native Americans, Spanish explorers, African slaves, Bahamian and Cuban immigrants, and American soldiers and settlers. This diverse mix of people has created a unique blend of cultures that can be seen and felt in the island's food, music, and art. It is most certainly a fascinating and beautiful place to visit, full of history, charm, and yes, character. Okay, so like many tourist destinations, the cost of living and traveling can be higher than in other parts of the country. Some of the factors that contribute to the higher cost of living in Key West include its remote location, limited space, and high demand for goods and services. There are still plenty of other ways to enjoy Key West without breaking the bank. Some of the free or low-cost activities include exploring the beaches, taking a bike ride, visiting the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum, and watching the sunset at Mallory Square. All of stuff that we'll go over soon. When it comes to dining out, there are plenty of options to fit any budget. From casual beachside cafes to fine dining restaurants, Key West has something for everyone. However, it's worth noting that some of the restaurants on Duval Street and in other popular tourist areas can be a little marked up. Where to stay? Key West has a range of accommodation options, from budget-friendly hotels and motels to luxurious resorts and bed and breakfasts. If you want to be close to the action though, look for accommodations in the Old Town District, which is home to many of the island's historical landmarks, shops, and restaurants. I was traveling solo and stayed at Naya in Key West, NYAH, which stands for Not Your Average Hotel. Naya, pretty cool. Naya Hostel is located in the heart of Key West on Margaret Street, just a few blocks away from the famous Duval Street. The hostel is also just a short bike ride away from the beach and pier and other outdoor activities. They offer bikes for rent too, and if I recall correctly, it was about $20 daily. Okay, let's break this down, plus and minus. The pros: chic design, nice rooms, comfy beds, lots of pools, a safe in the room for your belongings, a bar with daily happy hour, strong Wi-Fi, and location. The building's design is pretty neat too, including the staircase that leads up to a sweet view of the street view. I'm so sorry about this joke, but I couldn't help it. The cons, as in not the Ocean's 11 stuff, but the non-pros. Here's the first one. It gets loud. So if you are a light sleeper or are traveling with someone that is, that might be a problem. Also, the pool could have been a little cleaner. I paid about $70-ish per person per night for a shared room, so I had my own bed, and I heard that rooms, the private ones, could go up to $250 per night. Totally worth it for the price in my humble opinion, since I also do enjoy non-luxury budget travel. How was the service, you might ask? Well, honestly, nothing spectacular, nothing memorable. For a score, I would give them 7 out of 10 for hostel standards. Activities and excursions. The island offers a wide variety of activities for visitors to enjoy. Whether you're interested in water sports or land-based adventures or simply just relaxing on the beach, there is something for everyone. But let's start with the land stuff first. First up, we've got Smathers Beach, where you can soak up some sun, ride the waves, and enjoy a refreshing drink in a coconut shell if the vendors are present. It's a 5 to 6 minute drive by car or a 25-minute bike ride from downtown. The sand was soft, water was warm, but it was murky, since this was right after the hurricane. You can also walk a few hundred yards into the ocean before it starts to get deep. Enjoy. Next on the list, we have the Little White House, where you can learn about the history of the island and take a peek at some presidential artifacts. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. It was fun cruising around the neighborhood where a former president used to live. It is said that President Truman spent a total of 11 working vacations in Key West during his presidency, and then returned 5 more times after his presidency. You could choose to pay money to go inside for a more in-depth tour, or just roam around the gorgeous gardens for free, like I did, and leave. Then we have the ultimate Key West tradition called the Sunset Celebration at Mallory Square. Sunset Celebration is a nightly arts festival at Mallory Square, where hundreds come every night to mark the passing of yet another day in paradise. Folks usually start arriving about 2 hours before the official sunset. You can watch street performers, enjoy some delicious food, or bring your own, and catch the breathtaking sunset that I promise will make your heart skip a beat. I've seen the sunset here twice, and the second time was just as good as the first. Up next, we've got Fort Zachary, Taylor Beach and Museum, where you can get a glimpse of the island's military history and explore the stunning beach that's perfect for swimming and snorkeling. Dedicate a few hours to this place, as it is a 2-in-1. It's the best beach in Key West. I say that, and a lot of other people have said that. And it's also a Civil War era fort with the largest collection of Civil War armaments in the United States. I did not know that until I got there. Couple of tips for you. Number 1, bring water shoes. It gets rocky. Number 2, snorkeling is supposed to be decent here, so bring a snorkel. Number 3, locals in the know do this, where they come in the day, get a pass for a nominal fee, leave the park, then return around sunset, and it's supposed to be epic here, the sunset that is. In my opinion, this spot was perfect for solo travelers, couples, or families. Now we've got the Hemingway Home and Museum, which is a beautiful Spanish colonial-style home where the famous author Ernest Hemingway used to live and worked for more than 10 years in the 1930s. Hemingway and his wife restored the decaying property and made several additions, such as a swimming pool and a fountain made out of a urinal. No joke. During his time at this home, Hemingway wrote some of his best received works. The admission, which includes a guided tour, is $17 for adults and $7 for children ages 6 to 12. Children 5 and under are free. One of the most distinctive features of the Hemingway Museum is the 6 toed cats that live on the property to this day. Hemingway was known to be fond of cats, and the six-toed cats at the museum are direct descendants of a cat that was given to Hemingway by a ship's captain. The cats are often referred to as Hemingway cats or polydactyl cats because they have an extra toe on each paw. It's rather cute, and it looks as though they're wearing mittens. Today, the museum is home to around 40 to 50 six-toed cats, and the visitors are free to interact with them during their tour of the property. The cats are well cared for by the museum staff and have become a beloved part of the museum's history and charm. There's also a cat cemetery on site. In addition to the cats, the museum also features many artifacts from Hemingway's life, including original manuscripts, photographs, and personal belongings. Visitors can also see Hemingway's writing studio where he wrote some of his most famous works and explore the lush gardens that surround the property. Overall, the museum is a fascinating glimpse into the life of one of America's greatest writers, and the six-toed cats are a unique and charming aspect of the museum's appeal. You may or may not know this, but Key West is a fantastic destination for snorkeling and diving, offering visitors the opportunity to explore vibrant coral reefs and diverse marine life in generally clear water. Key West has one of the largest living coral reefs in the continental United States, which attracts a variety of marine life and more humans from around the world. Visitors can explore the shallow and deeper waters with colorful fish, sea turtles, dolphins, sharks, and even shipwrecks, and a whole lot of other surprises. The cost of snorkeling and diving can vary based on the experience and length of tour, the equipment used, the time of year, and the operator, so there are a whole lot of factors that can dictate the price. Typically, a 2-hour guided snorkeling tour can cost around $40 to $60, while a 2-tank dive trip can cost anywhere from $90 to $150. Private charters are available, and specialty tours do cost more, but they offer more personalized experiences. Might be your thing. To secure the best experience, I always suggest booking your snorkel or dive trip in advance with a reputable operator that provides all necessary equipment, safety instructions, and experienced guides, like I did. After a lot of research, I went with Captain's Corner, who I would highly recommend for their ease to work with and just the overall experience I had. My advanced certification was well organized and quite the breeze, and my dive instructor had a genuine love for the ocean and everything in it. You could just tell. For my advanced certification, I had to complete a total of 6 dives, which were all scheduled by the time I got there. Overall, Key West is an excellent destination for snorkeling and diving and just swimming in general. And of course, Captain's Corner is an excellent option to go with if you're diving. Let's talk about food. When it comes to culinary experiences, Key West is a foodie's paradise and doesn't get much love, honestly, as it should in comparison to the other food capitals in the United States. From the fresh seafood to the tropical flavors, the food scene here is full of surprises. The streets are lined with an eclectic mix of restaurants, ranging from hole-in-the-wall joints to high-end establishments. Let me tell you about a couple of the places where I went to eat. And of course, there are more, but these are just the ones I went to.
Beer battered shrimp. Whoever made this batter and selected the shrimp deserves an award. It's like perfectly crispy and juicy at the same time. The shrimp tastes phenomenal.
First up is Boathouse Bar and Grill, which offers an unbeatable happy hour and mouth-watering small plates. The atmosphere is relaxed and welcoming, and the food is cheap, but simply amazing if you go at happy hour. For fresh, raw seafood and cooked seafood, Alonzo's is the place to go. Their seafood is caught daily, and you can taste the freshness in every bite. I highly recommend their raw oysters and everything raw that they serve. Simply divine. If you like bread and are a lobster lover, the Conch Shack is a must visit. Their lobster roll is the best I've ever had. Seriously, packed with succulent, juicy lobster meat and served on a perfectly toasted bun. The owner was the most down-to-earth guy and so much fun to talk to. Finally, no trip to Key West is complete without trying their famous key lime pie, and Moondog Cafe serves up the most amazing version I have ever had. It is the perfect balance of tart and sweet, with a light and fluffy texture that is just simply irresistible. And then of course they kind of char the cream and gives it another layer of taste.
So it's just a traditional like whipped meringue, but what they do is they add a key lime zest to it. So what they do is they'll batch up the meringue with kind of like a whip type ordeal, add the key lime zest to it, and then then what they do is they grab a torch and then they slowly torch it right there. All of those flavors combined, I mean, it gives a crisp to it, it gives a sweet
You can't miss this place, you gotta go. Overall, the food scene in Key West is truly something special. And these 4 restaurants that I just mentioned are definitely worth checking out. And of course there are more, but I can't speak for them, but I've heard good things. As I wrap up my video on Key West, and the fact that this was my second time here, I am left with a sense of wonder, again, and amazement at all this small island has to offer. From scuba diving in somewhat post-hurricane clearish waters, to indulging in non-stop delicious food, exploring historical sites, and relaxing on stunning beaches, Key West has truly captured my heart once again. And as I reflect back on my trip, I'm struck by how returning to a place you may have visited in your younger years can offer a very unique perspective. It's a chance to see how much you've grown and changed, and how the place has grown and changed, and may have just evolved over time. In the case of Key West, though, I'm thrilled to have discovered a whole new side to this vibrant destination. Thanks for being here. Until next time, ciao.
Right there is pretty much a homeless island.
Okay.
There's no houses, no nothing.
Uh-huh. That's Sunset Key.
Yep. That island is Wisteria.
Wisteria. Okay.
And, that has about, I'd say about 1,000 people on
Whoa.
it,
Okay.
living in tents, hanging out, just living the life.
And you?
The canoe from there to here.
Yeah.
The canoes are back over there.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and pan your camera over there.
Okay.
Right in the very corner.
Yeah.
The canoes are over there. And what they do is they pull them up, they drag them over there, and they go to town, go to work.
Uh-huh.
They do their thing and come back, paddle back out.
All right. What's it like living over there? I know you told me that you spent a couple of nights there?
I spent about a month over there.
Wow. What happens if like a local tries to stay in there? What happens then?
No, they'll usually accept you.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I mean, it's very, very, very mellow.
And it's just got tents and camps and whatnot.
They have a certain section
Uh-huh.
where the bathrooms are, and
Okay.
you know, and
Hysteria.